In this series of 4 videos, we're going to be creating a SAP Business Objects Data Services repository on a SAP HANA database. In the first video, I'll create a user in the SAP HANA Studio which will house the Data Services repository. In the second video, I'll create a Data Services repository with the Data Services Repository Manager. In the third video, I'll log into Business Objects Central Management Console within the enterprise set of products, and I'll create a Data Services connection to my Data Services repository. And in the fourth video, I'll log into the Data Services Server Manager and create a server so we can execute jobs within our Data Services repository. So in this video, I'll create a user in the SAP HANA Studio which will house the Data Services repository. So the first thing we need to do is launch the SAP HANA Studio. So I'm going to go and launch that SAP HANA Studio. So in order to create a schema, there are a few things that we need to do. The first thing we need to do is create a specific user who is going to house the tables of the Data Services repository. We do this by expanding our database, going to the catalog folder, and then we expand the authorization folder. There we'll see a group of users and a group of roles, and we're going to expand our list of users. So if we right click on users and select new user, we can create ourselves that user. So I'm going to call mine simply DS Repo. The password is going to have to be changed. So what I'm going to do is just going to call this one ABC 12345. ABC 12345. And then I can click on execute. So we've created that user, and if I refresh, we can see now we've got that user created as a user, as you can see here. So now what I would advise that you do is the following, because you need to change this password. An easy way to test that the user works and to change the password is to create an additional connection in your SAP HANA Studio using the user that you've just created. So I'm going to do this by adding a new system, connecting to my HANA server, which is on the Linux box, which is on the machine called HANA, in an instance called 00, and I'm going to call this DS Repo. I'll then click on Next. Then I'll put in the existing user and password, which for me was ABC12345, and I'll click on Next. I'll be shown some additional properties, and I'll just click on Finish, where I'll be prompted to change that password. So I'm going to change the password to capital D and then lowercase SREPO123. And then I'll click on OK. So we'll receive a confirmation that the password was successfully changed. I can click on OK. And just to test that, we can see some schemes. If I expand the catalog, we can see that we've got this DS Repo user. And if I expand, we can see at the moment we have no tables in this user's schema. So that's the first step in creating your Data Services repository. In the next video, we're going to look at creating the Data Services repository using the Data Services Repository Manager. That is the second video in this series. So now that we've tested that user, we can log out of the SAP HANA Studio.